First of all, welcome to you, sir, and welcome to everybody who's present here today in this conclave. Today, we are diving deep into one of India's most storied and dynamic industries, that is textiles, with a rich legacy that dates back, in centuries. And India has been a global powerhouse in textile production. Yet, achieving dominance in the modern fashion and luxury market remains a challenge. And in the backdrop of Viksit Bharat 2047, we explore how the Indian textile sector is evolving, innovating, and positioning itself in the global leadership era. From policy incentives like PLI to sustainability, to AI-driven automation and the e-commerce boom. There's a lot to talk about when it comes to the textile space. And, nobody better than you, Mr. Ajay, can, talk to us through, what's happening in the entire textile space. So, we have the Bangladesh +1 strategy right now, which is, playing its role. India is, kind of getting advantage when it comes to, the kind of developments that have taken place in Bangladesh. To you, how is the textile space developing right now, and what does the future for textile look like?
Thank you, Mahima. I must say one thing. Bangladesh +1 strategy. That's a new phrase which you have put in my mouth. And exactly the same thing which I also wanted to tell people basically. See what has happened in the textile in last 3 months. I'll just give you a last 3 months example. Apparel exports in last 3 months of year 2024 have grown by 41%. Traditionally, they were growing at 6 to 7%.
Okay.
It's again Bangladesh one effect. Now, I don't want to, it's an aberration, no issues. But we need to make it a habit. And we can do it. See, today, the Indian market share in the global trade is roughly about 3%, 4%. We are just doing roughly about 16 billion of apparel exports.
Right.
It can certainly go up to 50 billion by end of this decade.
Right.
All what we need is putting up facilities in India. See, we have got our total share of textile and apparel together is roughly about 38 billion of in the year 2024.
Right.
Out of which 16 billion was apparel, 21 billion was fabric. Now, if I were to do a value addition, see, there is a 2x value. If I am doing a 1 billion fabric export, if I convert that into apparel, it automatically becomes 2 billion.
Right.
So that's the value addition which we are talking about.
Right.
Now, if I were to convert this 21 billion of fabric into apparel, it automatically becomes 42 billion. And let me put it this way also, that globally, textile trade is 60 to 65% consists of apparels, 35 to 40% consists of fabric,
Okay.
in which all fabrics come in,
Right.
including home textile and everything.
Right.
So the biggest market, the opportunity I would call it, is the apparel export into the world. We can become clothiers to the world. So that's where I look at it as an opportunity which we have today in the textile business.
Right.
Currently, the government of India, under the leadership of our Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, has taken up a lot of initiatives, a lot of thrust. And just day before yesterday, Modi ji has given a new phrase, 5 Fs of textile, starting from farm, fiber, factory, fashion, and foreign.
Right.
So that's the 5 Fs. If we were to follow those 5 Fs,
Right.
I'm sure what we are targeting, roughly about 350 billion by end of this decade. As on today, we are at 185 billion.
Okay.
So that's just doubling in next 5 years' time. And that's very much possible.
Right.
And if I were to put his thought process, we can achieve this target earlier than 2030.
Interesting.
Now, of course, what we need to do, both as an industry and as a support from the government. As an industry, see, we are employing roughly about 45 million people
Right.
in India, which is almost 10% of the working population of India. It is the second largest sector which is giving employment in India. Now, being second largest, if we were to double our capacities, we have to double our trade, we have to double our manufacturing capacities.
Right.
What I would need is a trained workforce. The trained workforce will not come just overnight.
Right.
In that, I think the government needs to take up that objective very, very seriously and get this, and it will not only generate employment,
Right.
it will generate employment in villages,
Correct.
in small towns, and putting up manufacturing capacities in terms of apparel manufacturing capacities.
You know, you rightly mentioned that, putting up manufacturing facilities and trained labor is something, that will really boost when it comes to the textile space. Product-linked incentive schemes, this is one of the things that has been a game changer for a lot of industries, including the textiles, right? I want to know as to, how it's been a game changer, first thing. And secondly, what more, policy changes that you have in mind can government actually, take into consideration that will boost, the textile sector overall, and we reach that 350 billion mark by 2030, earlier than 2030, like you rightly mentioned.
See, the PLI scheme has played a very crucial role or critical role in boosting productivity, capacity utilization, and at the same time putting up new facilities. See, what has happened in terms of technology upgradation, the existing units which are there, let me put it at my own end. In Reed & Taylor, we have basically doubled our capacity in last 2 years just by virtue of, with incentive of PLI, secondly, technology upgradation, and trying to rationalize processes with the help of AI, with the help of new technologies which are coming up. And that is what is the most game changer.
Right.
Secondly, recently government has come out 2-3 years back, that PM Mitra scheme. That has also is going to give us a results starting down the line 2 years, 3 years. And the last year, government came out with textile parks in various places. They have allocated some 10,000 crore for setting up this textile parks in various cities and other things. And I'm sure this is going to evolve a new manufacturing capacities coming up in the respective areas. Till now, let me also say one thing. We are having 23% of the world's share of cotton production.
Right.
We are the largest cotton producing country in the world.
Right.
And we are also largest cotton exporting country, either in the form of fiber or in the form of yarn. If that fiber and yarn is converted into the fabric and apparel in India itself, the delta is 3x. So that is where we need to concentrate on and need to move on.
Right. You very nicely mentioned that automation is kind of reshaping the way things are being manufactured, and not just being the manufacturing field. In fact, even when it comes to training people, things are changing. What has that change been like in the textile space, and also how is Reed & Taylor as a brand adopting those changes, and what are more changes that you look forward to when AI comes into picture?
See, when you look at AI, the AI has been majorly in textile industry been helpful for two aspects. One, the biggest contributor is CRM, the customer relationship management.
Right.
That is something which is very, very critical, and AI has helped a lot in customer relationship management in terms of looking at their behavioral purchases previously,
Right.
then augmented reality, virtual realities basically. Those things have, in fact, giving us a history. With their browsing history, I am able to understand what is my customer's preference, which area the customer is looking at. Now, let me put it this way. In last 1 year, what I have been seeing that the customer preferences in tier 2 and tier 3 cities has changed a lot. The brand appreciation has come. And that has been happened. We didn't know that. We were mainly concentrating on the tier 1 cities or the top 10 cities in the country. But now what I find that tier 2 and tier 3 cities are generating much more business than the tier 1 cities. And that is an area which we have been able to get is because of the majorly with AI-driven information which is being said. So that customer relationship management, customer preferences, customer likes and dislikes has led us to remodel our business and our product profile. So now when I know that X wants this, what is the customer preference? We convert that into our designing and fashion basically. So that, by virtue of that technology, we are able to get into more into design selection, design creation, and fashion creation. So that's something which AI has really done into. And thirdly, most importantly, and which is going to be again a very, very important tool for the textile industry to expand its base. See, e-commerce. E-commerce has come up very fast today. Just now one of my colleagues mentioned that we are getting orders from Nagaland to deliver the apparel. So that has been possible purely because of e-commerce. Now, that e-commerce, now today, what is happening? Previously, just 2 years back or 3 years back, there were a lot of issues regarding returns and this and that. Nowadays, the return ratio from 50% has come down to 20-25%. That has happened because now the customer, before he makes a purchase, is able to virtually wear that garment, see to it how it looks like on his body, and then take a call. So that is where this innovation, AI has really driven the textile industry in terms of fashion is concerned. See, Reed & Taylor basically is into premium category. They are basically, we are trying to give the premium fabric, premium apparel to the consumer. So when you have to be in premium category, the likes and dislikes change overnight, if I may put it in this. So that fast turnaround is possible through the technology.
Absolutely. Well, Mr. Agarwal, thank you so much for giving us those valuable insights on the entire textile space, and hopefully we cross that 350 billion mark as soon as possible, and hopefully before 2030. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Mr. Ajay Agarwal.